I'm dealing with right now, it's gonna cost me $1 million to fix it, so you wanna make sure that's in there.
Right. That's why hence we're
Sometime
still
not.
using the tower, and the DEQ mandated that we keep the tower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is gonna have to have an operator that maintains the level and the turnover in that water, because you
No.
don't want stale water.
That was part of the cost we're putting a PRB. Yeah. Yeah.
One other thing that's happened here just in the last day, Calhoun Township has decided that they want to pay for 50%?
That's what it reads.
50% of the new water main coming from the Borney Road to water plant.
No, to our
To our district boundary line.
Our district boundary line. Why? We don't know, but if they're gonna pay for it, why not? Yes, ma'am.
Can you speak up and everybody else, because this side conversation is
Okay, I'll make it a point to speak a little louder. Now, as far as our rates, I know it's like, they're tough to see them, but at this time, as a board, option number 2 is what we would really like to go with. And you'll see what the rates are gonna be. Starting in 2024, it's gonna be $49.85 a quarter.
That's what it is now. All of 2024, nothing's going up.
Yep, nothing's going up all
Which
next year.
I truly don't understand that one, but 2025 is when your first rate increase will be.
Which will be,
The second and 2025 is going to 63.11
per quarter.
per
Per
quarter.
quarter.
Going up per thousand.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, you got the per thousand after the 12,000.
And then after the 2026 is gonna go up another $5, $69.28. Then there's a bigger jump in 2027. But,
Listen,
pardon?
Bay County's not gonna take it over.
Well, that's why we want to have this meeting first, just in case, if there's an overwhelming amount of you that say, hey, give it up, we don't want it anymore. As a board, we have to sit down and consider that, because we work for you guys. Simple as that. That's why we're all here.
go up before they even take it over?
Pardon?
Why do our rates go up
They're not.
before they even take it over?
They're not.
They're not taking
Next
over
year, they're
nothing.
gonna remain the same as they are right now. Yes, ma'am?
Hey, Ernie, will everybody's rate be the same? Because right now, we're paying out of district,
Okay.
and we're paying 84, that's over 49.
Well-
So when our rates go up, it's gonna go up.
I hate to bring this up, but you ain't gonna like what I got to tell you about
Please
this.
do.
Okay, with the analytic study that happened, I mentioned earlier that everybody within the district pays 5 mils on their taxes. When you're out of district, we're only charging $34. It was brought to our attention that that's not right.
It's not.
Right,
And
we're shorting people. We actually have to raise the out-of-district rates another $36.
Eight.
$38 to be the same as everybody else in district. So everyone out of district who's paying that will be getting a bill. It's going to be $38 more a month. A quarter, I'm sorry, a quarter. But not the mills. You don't pay
If
the
you're
mills.
in district, you will not see that extra charge.
Right.
If you are out of district, you will.
Yes, ma'am.
What's considered district?
In district is where the district boundaries lines are, and out of district is basically elevator road past there's a ditch. And I don't know what the ditch is called. If you're headed north on elevator road from center,
They're not part of our district.
on that side of the ditch is considered,
Peters Beach in the district?
yes. It's a really weird line that they did a long time ago, and elevator road was added to, so we could create a loop.
Linwood Metro, it's the Linwood like east, not the side.
How many people are in this water district right now?
I have 380
380.
approximately.
But you're asking 380 people, a lot.
Yes.
I understand it. One thing you may want to mention, because somebody brought it up this month ago, is that this is a enterprise fund. The money that comes into this water fund cannot be used for anything else but this water fund. That's mandated by the federal government, and they can go to jail if they take it and use it somewhere else. So there's no worries about taking the money and going to Florida on a vacation. It has to go towards the water system. Now, that may be writing bills or writing letters, but the point is, them funds that are collected must stay in the water system. And they can't collect more than what they need to operate it because it's called enterprise fund. Just so everybody's aware of that. And again, I appreciate everything you guys do up there, because I know it's a thankless job and you can't make everybody happy. But I would like to see your reliability study on the plant as it relates to the failures you're saying that's wrong with it. $3 million it takes to repair it.
Yeah.
If Mitchell did the math, I really have.
13 million.
Yes.
Not 3.
All 13.
The lady up front asked you, what, she was asking you, you said you'd get back to it. The difference.
Now, just as far as taste of water goes, it's the same filters as we have in our plant now.
They get their
Can I
water
interject
from
on
where
that?
we're getting our water now.
Years ago-
Finally.
years
They
ago, we had
hooked
different-
on-
we had
They
different
hooked on to Saginaw Midland water. It's no longer from the mouth of the river, it is up at the lake. Where we get our water from right now is where you're gonna continue getting your water from. That's, it's treated instead of we treating it.
When we built the plant, the reason was is because Bay County water was sub-quality. They had numerous violations from DEQ and EPA, hence why they built a new plant, because the DEQ and EPA said either you build a new plant or we're shutting you down. So they basically have the same system we have, of course more modern and just a grander scale. It is basically the same water that we're making here in Linwood now, they're just making it on a larger scale.
How far does that pipe go out, here on Lake?
The water we get is up from Whitestone Point, north of Augrey. They have a 30-foot intake and a 70-foot intake. And that is where Bay City, Midland, Saginaw, all the townships in Saginaw, all the outlying areas of Midland, they're getting the same water to treat that we are in Linwood.
Thank you, and thank you for helping me
Yes, sir.
to
I just a quick
understand.
question, something I might have missed out on. I heard that you needed a licensed operator 10 hours a week.
Well, that's about all we can give a licensed operator, because there's not that much to do in a little tiny plant.
Okay. But Doug mentioned something about somebody had to be there every day.
It takes 7 days a week. It just
By
takes
law.
7 hours.
I'm required by law
To do paperwork.
to do paperwork, check on the plant every single day. Some days I might go in there for half an hour. You know, then every once a month I have to take samples, and then there's all kinds of new samples that
Well,
you're
after that 10 hours comes in?
Yeah.
Yeah, on average,
Okay.
yeah.
The only reason I brought that up, Doug, is I've
And
got a friend that works for Saginaw. He's got an F license.
An F?
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
And, you know, I could just check and see if he was in it, but I don't know if he'd be interested in something like that.
See, that's where I ran in, I'll be honest, guys, I contacted numerous people, they'd come in, not to say like, I'm retired, yep, how many hours I get? Oh, about 10, oh, forget that. And the problem is, these guys are, you know, they're driving an hour, you know, they're like, it's just not worth it to me,
Yeah.
you know, 10 hours a week.
So my friend, he's full-time at Saginaw.
Right.
Now.
Oh, and what would we do if we had an emergency?
Oh,
If
right,
this, you know what I say, if this guy's working full-time in Saginaw, we got a water line break.
Yeah.
He can't leave his full-time job to come take care of our problem.
Right.
You still plan on
So,
hiring?
question, you're talking about cost to only 10 hours. So what would the cost be if you hired somebody for 30 or 40 hours to make it worth their time? I mean, Doug, what are you getting paid? I mean, I'm just.
There's not enough work to do 30 or 40 hours.
I mean,
They sit there
40
and
hours
play
a
cards.
week, you would sit there and twiddle your
Well, I
thumbs.
mean, what would it do to our rates?
Well,
Not that much.
But it also falls, I'm not on the board, I'm just an operator. So it also falls, that's fine, let's get an operator. We still fall under the problem, the DEQ has said, as of January, they want this upgraded, this upgraded, this upgraded. Like our computer system, the PLC. I mean, how much, guys? 100 grand? Just for that? All the skids are 30 years old. We maintain everything and it's running very good, but I've had to buy parts on eBay to fix the stuff because
We
it's,
all buy parts on eBay.
well,
You
but
want your water
because it's so
system run on parts of
obsolete.
eBay?
The stuff is so obsolete, you can't even find it.
Is that
I have
your
the guy-
sanitary survey?
What's that?
The sanitary
Yeah.
survey is what gave you that?
Yeah.
That was our number 2 issue with this whole thing, is just, our plant's old, it needs to be replaced. Simple as that. You know, and like Spicer's mentioned to us, for us to build a new plant, you have to build a complete new plant, because you gotta keep the old one running till the new one's ready to go on. So that's just a matter of changing a few things out, it's a whole new plant. That's where the 13 million comes in.
And this isn't just because that's the way we gotta do it. This is the way that the state dictates. We gotta play by their rules.
Yep.
Where to put a new plant.
What's that?
When the decision's made, you guys make the decision, get input from us, or how are they gonna do
We
that?
get input from you to make the decision.
Okay.
Right now.
But, you know, right now, what, as a board, I can tell you, we're looking at option number 2 because it's the cheapest option at this time.
What kind of year rate do you have from Bay County? In other words, is that only through 27 and then they're gonna readjust?
We don't have that yet, do we?
I have not seen them. I know Ryan talked and said they were working on finalizing them and they were going to the board for final approval.
For the contract?
For what they're gonna charge us for water.
For long term?
Yeah.
Bay County Water, we've talked to them, they're all for it, not a problem, but then they switched directors too in the process.
Yeah, in the middle of all this, one guy left the whole thing, so we had to start over from square one.
Yep. Yes, ma'am.
Where's the 700,000 coming from?
That is to build the new line from Labordy Road to our water
Where's
plant.
the money?
A bank loan.
A bank loan,
A bank loan.
a bank loan.
Correct.
Who's paying for it?
We are. That's
You
part of
are
the
through
rates.
your rates.
Through your
We
rates.
as Old Collin Township, or we as Linwood?
Linwood.
Linwood Metropolitan Water
The
District,
Linwood Water District customers are the ones that'll be paying it back.
yes.
Where's the 5 mil go?
Pardon?
So where's the 5 mil go?
Same place, in the bank, paying for
why
your
is-
operation and maintenance. You have other operation and maintenance costs every day. Consumers, your phone bill, you have to pay for maintenance of the plant. You have to buy, you have fire hydrants, you have pipes in the ground that break, and you gotta pay a contractor that has to come and fix this. This money that's sitting in the bank that you guys pay your rates for, that's what pays those bills.
What is your water fund balance right now?
A little over 300,000.
Just for a point, I got a community of 5,000 and mine's at $1 million, so.
Right.
You know, you're right there where you need to be, but you don't have any money left. you know?
Right.
We just painted our water tower too.
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
so we just did, we completely
Yes, ma'am.
redid the rate
How
of the
much
power.
does the 5 mil fill up for that, or bring in for that?
There's really no way to, well, we'd have to sit down and figure it out because of course the mills go by the value of your home.
Right,
So everyone pays something different.
right, so when
Fine,
Fraser
so.
Township sends you the money after people pay their taxes, how much are they sending you?
Everyone would be different.
Okay, roughly $100,000 or less is about what we get a year if everybody pays their taxes.
That's if everybody pays their taxes, as long as.
We also get a check in August for people that don't pay their taxes from Bay County, when Bay County takes over your tax bill. They pay us no matter what. So no matter what, we're getting the money. The money's there to pay the bills.
So that's,
We can never go over 5 mils, it's in the charter. We are a district charter, metropolitan water district. There's only like 3 of us left in the United States, state of Michigan.
How do you have the rates if they didn't give you the cost yet for your quantity, for what you're gonna pay for water,
we're gonna stick with them no matter what,
no matter what?
at this time. You know, all these rates, of course, are subject to change. They could go down, they could go up. I wouldn't bet on going down, but. Yes, sir.
Can I ask, it's roughly in what you're quoting here, which I don't know if those are hard, how far out they're hard numbers and how far out the projections, but have you guys figured how much of that is inflationary based versus how much is truly the operation cost? Because the I mean, if we're at $50 down, just the inflation that's going on in the country is going to take us to 60 or 70 naturally over a couple of years. I mean, that's kind of happening everywhere. Have you guys identified which goes into which bucket at all?
Well, supposedly this analytics was supposed to put that in there, the inflation part of it.
The rate
You know.
study that you guys, that, I'm really sorry again, that's really hard to read, but if you see every year the money goes up,
Yep.
depending on where you live, and if you look at the next row down, if you go over the 12,000 gallons, that is your minimum, it'll also say what per 1,000 gallons you're gonna pay, but that does go up every single year, starting 2025. So that was figured in, inflation included with the rate study.
I got a question for Spicer. If these guys go ahead and build a plant, go with plan one, how long would it take to build the plant and disassemble the other one? I mean, what's the time frame? What are we looking at here? I mean, because what you're talking about is there's a window there that the state or the federal government is saying you got to update by a certain time. So what's our window on all of that? If we decided, we're going with one.
I would say 5 years minimum. I mean, right now pumps are a year and a half out.
Just supplies.
Just
right?
supplies, and that's after the
Okay, then you gotta find $13 million, and you guys are gonna have to pay that back.
There's no way you
Yeah,
can
you still gotta find
No.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the first plan is really ridiculous. I mean, there's no way, so that's not even an option, right?
It's not, but
I mean, feasibly.
feasibly, it is not, well, it is if you wanna pay for it.
That's basically what this meeting was for, was to tell you that they researched everything, and option 2 is what they wanna go with, because it makes the most sense.
Who's they?
The board.
The board.
Okay, so, because option 3 eliminates the board, right?
Option 3 eliminates the board, it eliminates your 5 mills, but you don't know who's taking over your
Yep, that part.
water
Next
distribution.
year you won't have to.
It'll be the state of Michigan that'll say what you have to pay for your water, no longer anybody else.
Do you not have, you're a board of commissioners, do you not have that right? So right now, this is just information.
This is an informational meeting, but if the majority of the people say, screw it, we don't want this water district anymore, then you have to have an election. If you seriously want to let this thing go and go to whoever, then that's the only time, that's the only reason we would have to have an election. The other 2 options is just the board that decides.
But I
The
mean,
board
they can
decides.
decide,
Yes,
right? No
yes.
matter what.
No matter what anybody says,
Yes,
here, the
Mike.
board can decide.
Where's Bay County, or how Collin Township get their water right now? And
Bay
what are
County.
their bills?
Bay County,
What's their bills roughly every?
don't know, don't know. Don't know. I don't care about them, I care about Linwood Metropolitan Water District, that's it. Yes, sir.
My water bill, I'm on M13 in Cottage Grove. I just paid my water bill for water and sewer was $156 for that yellow brick house you drive by that has lights on at night. That's what it costs.
I paid 42 for water for 3 months and 71 for sewer.
Well, if we,
145 every.
that's including any debt service that's on the township and the same with the sewer. My sewer, everything's a piece of that bill. No, there are no. We have
He's not a water customer that was from Linwood, is what he's trying to tell you, is he's a Bay County water customer. He doesn't have your water. He doesn't have, but he's trying to tell you what he pays quarterly, so you have a comparison.
That's what I pay quarterly. For sewer and water, 71 sewer, 42 for water.
But then you
Plus
pay,
5 mils on my tax.
I don't pay nothing on my taxes.
I'm gonna buy a mobile
And it's
home.
actually water that comes from Whitefish. It comes from Bay County Water and Sewer.
Okay, gentlemen, one thing you gotta understand too, all these rates are subject to change. They are an estimate. We may drop them. If Colin pays for some of this main, it may help us in the end. Maybe we can keep the rates the same going into 2025. We don't know that. It will come.
How are we gonna pay for the, when you bring the water from the Boarding Road or whatever?
We're getting a loan.
Right, are we gonna be charged every month a fee?
No,
No.
no. It's in the rate already.
No.
We
You will
may-
not, you will not get an extra bill to pay for that bank loan.
You already,
So they say.
you need a motion, do you want a motion, or you don't?
No,
want a motion?
no.
You don't
this
really
is-
need it.
Yes, sir.
Could you go back and review the boundaries of the water district? I don't.
You know what, I'm not, who knows districts? Oh, right here, this gentleman knows right here. They've been changed so many times out.
Just for informational purposes, all of the outskirt county, or townships in the city of Saginaw, or the Saginaw County, buy water from the city of Saginaw that gets it from the same supply that Bay County gets it from. In fact, Bay County paid Saginaw Midland for the ability to tap into their 72-inch water line at 4 Mile and whatever it is, to create their new water treatment plant. If any of us here think that this community with 340 customers, 308 customers, can afford to maintain, rebuild, build a water treatment plant, anytime you want to come and see how it's done, I'll be glad to show you that it can't happen. You can't support the 300 people. So the decision to go to Bay County is your best option altogether.
This time.
And the rates, you cannot, and I'll recommend this to you as the board, do not set back when your water goes up, it needs to go to the customers. It has to be a pass-through, because as soon as you try and take it out of your savings account, you're sitting where you're at right here 5 years from now. You can't be afraid to take it to them, this is what it costs.
Communities is cheap.
I'll tell you what, Kilowassee isn't cheap.
What's the boundaries?
Yeah.
So I'm-
What's the drain on Elevator Road? The
That's the
Rosebush drain.
Rosebush drain.
That's the south
That's the one
boundary.
I was telling you about.
Everybody knows Rosebush Drain, that's
And that's the one north of Linwood Road?
Yes,
Basically 800 feet north of Linwood Road and south, but then,
Past the plant,
and that goes
maybe half a
to
mile.
town
There's a
line,
ditch that goes
what is it,
across.
tower line?
Tower line?
And on the
Kaiser
other side
Tower,
of that ditch,
And north.
And then all the way to the
is
bay, of course.
not
And I don't
nice.
know if it goes
but
farther
at
north
Peters
along
Beach
it.
Road, that in between.
Are you?
Incorporated all the beach.
Yep. Just a minute, please. Go ahead.
I just want my question. It goes 800 feet each way.
I don't know.
Okay, going to the north, we go to Anderson Road.
No,
No. Now, district, in district.
I believe Rosebush Drain is the north boundary.
That's the whole thing.
Rosebush Drain is the north boundary.
Rosebush Drain would be the north boundary, and then,
Tab ditch is the
All the way to
Tab ditch,
M13
I'm
on
assuming, is
Linwood
gonna be
Road.
the south.
Because that's why Collin is looking at possibly doing what they're doing.
Okay.
They own from the Morty to the Tab ditch center. You guys own from the center up to your plant and to the north.
Okay, yes, that would be the boundary. As far as to the west, it goes up to the highway, almost to the highway, M13, and then obviously to the east, it goes to the bay.
That's on Linwood Road, not Anderson.
Right, Linwood Road. On Linwood Road, I'm sorry, yes, you're right, Linwood Road, to the bay.
Now, along the beach, though, there's a, in and out of district there, right?
Yes.
they're all in district on the beach.
Oh, they are?
All.
Except for Peters Beach.
No, they're in district.
No, Peters Beach is in district, so is the Linwood Beach on the other side to Anderson Road. Now, from the Rosebush Drain on Elevator Road down Anderson Road to the beach is not in district.
That's when they got rid of the deadhead. They made the loop. But
That
they-
is not in district, and that would take an election to move the district boundary lines. And then the out-of-district customers would be in district, and then they would pay 5 mils on their taxes. But they wouldn't pay the extra $38 a quarter.
More than that.
So that would be something that we can discuss in the future if you would like to, out-of-district customers, to move the district boundary lines. The state has to be involved. We'd have to have an election, which we have one coming up next November. So it can be done, because we are working on our district charter right now also. So it could be done if the people that live out of district wanted to move the district boundary lines. But,
Yes, sir.
I know you said it was relatively fresh information, so if you don't have the answer, I understand. But is the offer from Collin to help offset the costs of the necessary work, is that contingent on them getting the water contract, or is that just a good faith?
Well, number one, we had to go to Collin and say, hey, can we hook onto your line? Because they're, even though it's Bay County water, it's still Collin's line. And this is what they threw at us. And that's as far as we got right now.
okay.
You know, why they're doing it, I tell you the truth, we don't know why, because there's only one customer from the Tab Ditch to the Bordy Road.
What's the benefit to them?
We don't know, we just found, okay, this information we just got this morning. We're going to meet with Hawthorne Township Supervisor, hopefully